we're doing a handling objections sales meeting for Milner, North Carolina. We have everybody on the call, Lynn?
We do.
We do.
Everybody's going to be on the call.
All right.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. So, Lynn, do you want to say anything before we kick this meeting off?
And we're just ready to learn, Dave. We're ready to handle objections and close stronger. So we know you're going to do that for us today.
All right. Okay, good. So I know I was sent a list of objections, and but I want to know, everybody's got their own list in front of them, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, what I'm about to tell you might shake up your belief system a little bit in the objections that you're going to handle and the way you're going to handle them. So the first thing I want to tell you guys is when you're specifically handling objections, there's a couple things that you need to realize. Number one, you're going to get objections not just in the close, but you're going to get an objection in every part of the sales process. And your job in handling the objections, this is different from closing the deal. It goes hand in hand, but just a little bit different. So a greeting that happens when you, an objection in the greeting is going to be different from an objection in the fact finding, different in the demo, different in the trial closes, and then different in closing the deal. So it doesn't matter where you're going to handle this technique I'm about to show you right now is actually going to help you in every single part of the sales process, and you're going to be able to use it. The first thing that you're going to have to do, though, is take responsibility for every single thing that happens in the sales process. How many of you have gotten to the point in your beginner certification inside Cardone University that explains to you that everything that happens inside the sales process is your responsibility? Everybody's got there? We're about to take it to a new level. We're about to take it to a new level this morning. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take responsibility for it. What I mean by that is I want you to realize that when you're getting an objection, it's probably you that starts the objection. More than likely, it's going to be you that starts the objection. Like, let's start it off. I'll give you an example, and I'll work you through it the first time. So what's the number one objection that you're getting right now? Is it price? I need to think about it, or I'm busy? What's the objection?
I'm busy, I'm good. Happy with their current vendor.
Yeah, we already got a current vendor that we're happy with.
Okay, good. So I can see it right there. Everybody's got like 3 or 4. So what's the one? Lynn, you pick one of them, and I'll handle that one.
Well, Lori's got 6 deals right now that are on hold, and I think the 2 that she's getting we're just not ready to make a decision yet. And what's the other one, or is that the only one?
I mean, that's basically it. It's a lot of, we're just happy with what our current setup. We're good right now, but they're really not.
So that's there's 2 different objections there. Let's handle the first one first, which is we're not ready to make a decision. You let them know I'm on a call. So the first one is we're not ready to make a decision yet. We need to think about it. We don't make rash decisions. That's the energy, right? And Lori, okay, Lori. So Lori, I'm not going to pick on you, but I'm going to use you as an example, okay? Okay. All right, good. The objections that you're getting on a consistent basis, and this sounds consistent, and everybody, this isn't about Lori. I want you to think about this for yourself. The objection that you're getting is the objection that you're putting out most often. So if people keep saying to you, we're not ready to make a decision, we need to think about it, or don't make rash decisions, you're probably saying that in your life. There's probably things going on where, well, this needs to happen, but I'm not ready to make a decision for whatever reason. It could be, you bought your kids a pool 2 summers ago, and it's been filled with water for 2 summers, and they've been in it twice, and you feel like you wasted your money. So now that's stopping you from making a decision for something else. Or you bought your kids a bike for Christmas, and they rode it Christmas morning, and for the last 3 years, it's been sitting on the side of the house, and they haven't been riding it. Or you bought yourself a purse and you haven't used it once and it's still up in the closet. And now because you made that decision and you think it was a bad decision, you're thinking this might be a bad decision no matter what it is. That's in your head. So if you're getting that, that's what you're putting out. Does that make sense?
Well, it's a deep concept, Dave, but yeah, I mean, we used to have a sales rep here that used to sell the way that he wanted to buy, and that's really what you're talking about. And it's a subconscious thing, and I'm buying into that. So keep going.
Okay, good. Now that we've got that, I needed your buy-in, needed to get the greeting done first. Now let's take it to how are we going to handle that? I'm going to show you how to handle it with the customer as far as what's going on in what you're doing in your personal life, your real life. You need to handle that. But now let's handle the customer. So when the customer says that, the very first thing you need to do is take responsibility. That's your fault that he said that. So if you're taking notes, this is the word track. I completely understand, sir. I completely understand. And I take full responsibility for the fact that you don't want to make a decision right now. I completely understand, sir. And I take full responsibility for the fact that you don't want to make a decision right now. Now, why would I tell him that?
Because you're going to give them the reasons why they need to make a decision right now. Because you haven't done your job well enough, and I'm getting ready to handle that right now.
Exactly. If the deal does not happen, it is my fault. If it is to be, it is up to me. Okay? So I need to be the seller and the buyer. Sir, completely understand. That I'll take full responsibility for the fact that you don't want to make a decision right now. So I take the responsibility. It's no longer on him. And now I'm going to transition to the next part of this. So if you're taking notes, here's the second piece. The second piece is going to be other than the fact that you don't want to make a decision right now. The piece is going to be other than the fact. And then whatever he said. Other than the fact that you don't want to make a decision right now, is there any other reason why we couldn't move forward with this? So you're taking, he's saying, my decision is to not make a decision, or my decision is the price is too high, or my decision I need to talk to somebody else before I make a decision, or my decision is that I only like purple cats. Whatever his decision is, you have to take full responsibility for that because you put that there. And then you're going to push it to the side saying, and you're going to put it right there, other than the fact that you don't want to make a decision right now, is there any other reason that we couldn't move forward with this? Why would I ask that question?
You're isolating the objection.
Yes, because he hasn't given me the real objection yet. I need to think about it. We don't make rash decisions. The price is too high. I'm already working with somebody else. I'm already under contract. Those aren't the real objections. There's an unspoken objection. If you're taking notes, write that down. There is always an unspoken objection in everything that ever happens. Okay? For any single guys or any single girls on the call, you want to date somebody, they don't want to date you, guaranteed they're not going to tell you the real reason why they don't want to go on a date with you. They're going to say, what? I'm busy. I'm busy. I got to wash my hair, right? Oh, my family's in town. That's not the reason why. They just don't like you, but they don't want to tell you that. They don't want to give you the real objection. No, somebody gave out a fake objection this weekend. I saw that. I got the laugh. So the same thing,
Jeff.
The same thing is happening. Go ahead.
That's Jeff. Jeff, you probably put out that fake objection this weekend, didn't you, on the trolley pub?
Oh.
So what you're doing here, is you're finding the unspoken objection. What's the real reason? So when I get to that point, is there any other reason, sir, that we couldn't move forward with this? What could he say? He's only going to go one way or the other.
Lie. You can tell the truth or lie again.
Exactly. Well, he could give me another objection. Oh, well, there's this or there's that. Or, no, that's the real reason. That's the real reason we don't make decisions. And then you can tell him this, sir, there's only 2 or 3 reasons. If you're taking notes, like this is what you want. This is why we're on the call. There's only 2 or 3 reasons why you wouldn't do business with me. And I share them with you. He's going to say, oh, well, you know? Okay, yeah, tell me. Okay, good. Number 1, you're not the decision maker. Number 2 is you don't want to spend the money. Or number 3, you don't think that our product is going to solve your problem. You don't think that it's going to work. Which one is it? And then I'd ask him, which one is it? Because right now, and what am I doing with that question? What am I doing with that sales process?
You're trying to find the true objection so you can close on it.
Exactly. How many of you love the 3 to 6 to 9 month sales process, wish a deal, we call it a wish a deal? Man, he's thinking about it. I did a great presentation. He's thinking about it, and 3 months later, you're still following up using the follow-up tool, but you're dark and you're just, nothing's happening. I'd rather find out right now why he doesn't want to do business with me, because I have 10 other deals working, and the only reason I would be able to do that is because I'm prospecting every day. My pipeline is full. And if I lose a deal, it's on my terms. Not I'm spending 9 months in a deal abyss, getting deal fatigue, not knowing what's going on, not getting phone calls back, but I'm doing everything right. I'd rather find out right now that he's not the decision maker. He doesn't have the money, or doesn't want to spend it, or he doesn't think it's going to work. Now, what's he going to say when I present him those 3 options? Those are really the only 3 objections. Hey, I'm not really the decision maker. Okay, I got to talk to Lynn. He's really the guy that makes the decisions. I just told you that I made the decision because I didn't want you to get to Lynn. I'm really a gatekeeper. My title says manager on it, but I'm really a gatekeeper. I don't want you to get to Lynn. Okay, so I'm not the decision maker. I'd call him out on that. Yeah, sir, I knew that. How do I get to Lynn? So now you know you're pitching the wrong person. What if it's the second one? That's really the only objection that you're going to run into. Because price, we're going to be able to handle price. Okay, and if you don't think it's going to work, that's really the only reason that you wouldn't want to do business, sir, is because you don't think that our product and our service would actually solve your problem. Now, what do you guys like best about what I told you so far? And how many of you actually picked up all 4 steps?
I mean, it's probably the best 8 minutes of training on handling objections I've ever heard, Dave. I don't want to make your head bigger than the screen, but it's about as concise as it can possibly get after having listened to all the masters for 31 years. And if everybody has written that down and they've really internalized it, I promise you will either A, close more business, or B, you'll get no now, or you'll go away. And then you don't have to be angry and resentful and frustrated over people stringing you along, because that's your choice to let people do that to you, or you can take control and you can handle it. You've just given them a way to handle it and have the control back.
So let's move on to a different objection. And I'll show you how it works. I will show you how it works in a different objection.
Hey, Zach wants to ask you a question, Dave, real quick.
If I can. So let's say you go through that process, right? Either they're not the decision maker, if they say they're not the decision maker, do you just then ask who the decision maker is and how to get through to them? I guess my question is, depending on what they say, what do you say back? If you give them 3 reasons to say no, you can find the true objection, but what are your responses to each of those 3 reasons if that's what they say? That would be kind of
you know what? Thank you, Zach. Thanks for asking that question. Because you probably already got to that point where you're in the deal. You're thinking about 3 or 4 deals right now where it's like, man, I know he's not the decision maker. They don't want to spend the money and they don't think it's going to work. It's one of the 3. So what I like to do, what I love to do more than anything else, and I hope that you guys are doing this every day, is role play the situation. Instead of me just telling you, Zach, you and I are about to work it out. Okay. You are now the owner of the company. I'm the salesman for Milner, and we're now to that point. So, Zach, there's only 3 reasons why you wouldn't want to do business with me today, sir. Number 1, you're not the decision maker. I might put that at the end. Number 1, you don't have the money or you don't want to spend it. Number two, you don't think that our product and service is going to work. Or number three, you're not the decision maker. Which one is it, sir?
Well, I can't make the decision myself. I do have to run it by the owners of the company, but I will present the recommendations to them, and I'll get back to you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, this is what I would suggest is, since we're already this far into the deal, how do I get 5 minutes? How do I get 5 minutes? Can you help me, Zach? Can you help me out? I know we've been talking for months now. Can you help me?
I mean, I might be able to, but honestly, this isn't a project that they really want to be bothered with. I just have to present what I found and what my recommendation is, and they usually sign off on it. But I have to get that okay. But they won't probably want to, spend their time on this project, Dave, to be honest with you.
Of course they wouldn't. I knew that before you did. The fact that you're talking to me instead of them shows me that they wouldn't want to spend time on this project. Of course they wouldn't. But other than the fact that they wouldn't want to spend time on this project, is there any other reason that I couldn't get 5 minutes with them?
No, that's pretty much their reason.
Fantastic. So how do I get 5 minutes with them? Can you help me, or do I just need to go back to my cold calling? You know how good I do with cold calling and setting appointments.
I mean, I can shoot an email and see if they'd be interested.
Man, I'd love that. I would love that. Can you copy me on the email?
Yeah, I'll do that.
You're the man, Zach. You're the man. Thank you so much. And who are you going to be sending that out to, just so I know? And then he's going to give me the first name, last name. I'm going to go to LinkedIn. I'm going to look them up. I'm going to find out where they went to college, what their kids are into. I'm going to do my research on them so that when I do get that 5 minutes, I might send them a LinkedIn message. There's different ways to get in contact with them. Zach's not the decision maker at this point. I don't have any problem going in through a side door if the front door is locked, because I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get the deal done. But my pipeline is full. Again, you can't do this if your pipeline isn't full. Guys got to remember, because some of you are thinking, I don't want to lose a deal. Dude, you're going to lose the deal anyway. Would you like to lose the deal today or in 9 months from now? If you need to have a full pipeline, that means prospecting every day in order to have this kind of confidence in the fact that, hey, sir, I'm okay with losing a deal. I'd rather lose a deal today on my terms than on the client's terms. Now, my goal is not to lose the deal. My goal is to do everything I can to get the deal done. Does that make sense?
And I mean, yeah, I mean, you after three, I mean, he asked 3 times and you gave it to him the 3rd time, and you're no different than anybody else you're talking to. I would submit to you they would have given it to him in 2. You're a salesperson. You're trying to be a little bit harder on him. It took 3 times, but you gave him what he asked for. Bottom line. Now, maybe you think you were too easy. I don't know, but you won't know until you try the strategy.
Yeah, well, I guess I just know, like, if it wasn't a sales call, I would probably, like, where I knew we were role-playing, I would have just been like, no. I mean, honestly, like, if I was the person making the recommendations, I feel like if I was in a meeting and I asked for that and they said no twice, like, no, they don't want to be involved, I'm just going to present it,
They're willing to lose the deal and move on. That's his point. And until you've got enough stuff in your funnel, you don't have the strength and the confidence in order to do that. You won't do it because you're afraid of the loss. You'd rather take the odds, which are lower, even though you know how good you are and how well you close. You'd rather take the lower odds and let it string out for another month or who knows how long. Or maybe it's only 2 weeks. But that's Dave's point, and I can't disagree with it.
I agree.
And you're probably going to go and you're going to try some of that stuff today if I have to guess. Because you have nothing to lose at this point.
So let's do a different objection in a different part of the sale, and I'll show you how the same technique works no matter where you're at. So what's a different objection besides something that deals with time?
We're already in a
you guys ever hear any?
I hear
okay, good.
Well, go ahead.
Nah, you almost said it. What's up? Finish your thought.
I know. I mean, like, contracts are always, but like I always get to about we're good. Like, we don't mind paying the money because it's not broken, or we don't want to upgrade now. So those sort of things is what I've been running into, even with these Rico machines. Like how you're running in, it's just different wording, and I know it goes back to the decision and all these other things, but like they're the key things saying we're good with what we're paying.
Well, and so back to number 3, the point is you haven't given them enough information in order to make a decision, right? You haven't given them, they don't know the value of making a change.
Yeah, saying where to save the money or get new equipment for this and that, it's still, it's like, I'm not saying the right thing to be like, why are you not?
We'll role play
Yeah.
it, but it's the third.
Yeah. So I'll tell you right now, if you haven't gotten to this lesson yet inside your beginner certification, you're going to hit it any day right now. It's called the price myth. It's not about the price. It's not about coming in 10% lower than someone. If you want something, you're going to, and you see the value in it and it solves a problem, you're going to purchase it. What's the 2 reasons? There's only 2 reasons that somebody would ever buy anything. What are those 2 reasons? You guys haven't got there yet? Yeah. Number 1 is they love the product. They just love it. Oh my gosh, that is the most beautiful copier I've ever seen in my entire life. I just love it. Or it solves a problem. And in your business, it's more than likely that it solves a problem. And coming in and just saying, well, it's cheaper or it's less expensive does not solve their problem. You haven't found out what their problem is, and that takes us back to fact finding. And fact finding happens right after the greeting. Now, I know that you're not into the sales process yet, but I'm going to give you a little cheat sheet right now. Sales process goes greeting, fact finding, demo, trial close, and close. Those are your 5 steps. Greeting, fact finding, demo, trial close, and close. But if you don't know what their problem is, means that something happened in the fact finding. So it's part of the recipe that you have to go back to. So let's go back to the objection though, because we'll fix that on a different sales call. Let's go back to the objection, which is we're okay paying the money. Is that the objection that you're hearing?
Yes.
Yeah. The lease is
okay,
in
good.
renewal. They're just paying their monthly payment. They don't care about making a change. They're indifferent.
Okay, good. Can you ethically take business? This is a genuine question about your industry. Can you take someone else's business if they're under contract?
All day long.
Yep.
Okay, good. So then it's going to be the same thing. And was it Lisa? Kristen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So Kristen, I completely understand that you're under contract, and I take full responsibility for the fact that you're under contract. That's my fault. Evidently, I didn't get here soon enough. Other than the fact that you're already under contract, is there any other reason why you couldn't take a look at what I've got? Is there any other reason you couldn't give me 5 minutes to show you how we could solve that problem?
We're good. I just don't really have time because, everything's good right now and no one in questioning our
see how she's changed
invoices or bills right now.
Do you see how she switched from I'm good to I don't have time? Now it's a different objection. She switched on me. So you've got to say, now I got to listen to that. I got to listen to what she's telling me. She's telling me that she's got a problem with time and I need to solve that problem. Kristen, I completely understand and I take full responsibility for the fact that you don't have time right now. I'm going to speed up a little bit. I'm not going to waste any of your time. I promise you that. I won't waste any of your time. Other than the fact that you don't have 5 minutes right now, is there any other reason why you couldn't take a look at what we've got? Is there any other reason besides you're good and besides time?
No, I'm good. I could meet with you.
Okay, good. Because the reason I keep pushing, Kristen, is because really there's only 3 reasons why you wouldn't purchase anything from me. Can I share them with you?
Yes.
Number 1 is You don't have the money or you don't want to spend it. We know it's not that because you're already good with spending money. Number 2 is you don't think that our product is going to solve your problem. Or number 3, you're not the decision maker. Which one is it? And you already told me that you were the decision maker in our, oh, okay.
She's not now.
So,
she is the decision maker.
Okay, good. So if you're running into that, we're not the decision maker, I'm not the decision maker, I want to help you solve that right now because we're running into that. So let's get off of handling objections and let's move backwards in the sales presentation to fact finding. You guys ready? And when you're in fact finding, here's a question that you want to ask when you're headed into before you demo the product. It's called putting them on the heater. And this is how it goes. Okay. Lynn, or let's go with Kristen. Kristen, is there anybody else that you would want on this sales call, in this demo, to be involved in the decision making?
Yes, I would like the person who is in charge, whether it's the CFO or IT. I don't really want IT, but
Well, he's role playing.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm role playing with you. No, yeah, I got you. So you're whoever I've been cold calling, Kristen. You're whoever I've been cold calling. Okay, and now we've set up an appointment. I'm in your office. Okay, or even as I'm setting up. Actually, it's as I'm setting up appointments. Like you call and then you set an appointment and you show up. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, good. So this is what you're going to want to do when you're setting the appointment. This is called the lockdown. The lockdown appointment. If you're taking notes, this is going to save your life. Okay. Kristen, thanks. I'll be there at 2 o'clock. I'll be there at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. I appreciate you giving me just a few minutes to show you our product and our service. And hey, before I go, Kristen, is there anybody else that you're going to want there in our meeting to be in the decision making for our product or service?
Yes. I'm going to have 2 other folks that will be in this meeting with.
Okay, good. Who's coming in?
We're going to have the CFO, Lynn Cashwell, and then we're going to have our purchasing agent, which is Lori Bird.
Okay, good. Fantastic. Now, Kristen, is there anybody else besides Mr. Bloomberg and Lynn and yourself that would be involved in the decision making?
Nick, that's it. That will be.
Okay, good.
We'll be in the meeting.
Could you feel the pressure I was putting on you right there? Because I saw you smile.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm putting you on the heater right then. I might even say good because I'm going to hold you to. If they say, no, I'm it. I'm the only person. I'm the one. I'm going to say, okay, good, because I'm going to hold you to it. Because right there, they realize that I'm a professional. I'm a professional salesman. I'm proud to be a salesman. This is my career. The whole entire American economy revolves around how well I can sell. 76% of every American in this country is living paycheck to paycheck right now. 76%. We're headed into a turn like we saw in 2008. And if you're not prepared, if you don't know how to take your product and your service out into the marketplace, take it to the next level, close deals and drive revenue, not only for your family, for your company, for your community, for your church, then we're going to see what we saw in 2008. Literally, the American economy depends on how well you know how to sell and close and drive revenue. So it's okay, because I want to put the heat on them at the beginning before I even show up, because why have a meeting with Kristen when I need Lynn and Mr. Bloomberg in the same office for a decision to be made that day? I want a decision made that day. I don't want a 6 or 9 month process. I understand if it doesn't happen that day, at least I spoke. I got rid of, hey, you're not the decision maker. Now I know you are the decision maker. So now it's only 2 reasons why you wouldn't purchase from me, is you don't want to spend the money or you don't think that it's going to solve your problem. Then I can say, which one is it? And then it takes away one of their weapons. And I know how to solve the price is too high. And I know how to solve you don't think it's going to solve a problem. What do you guys like
Yeah.
best about what we spoke about today?
Dave, it's just the accountability. I mean, this is the way that I sold 31 years ago. We got away from it. It was in the account analysis. When you're doing a demo with someone, the question you ask is the question you have to ask. Other than yourself, is there anyone else that needs to be involved in our presentation today in order to make a decision? You got to put them on the spot, because if you don't, you're willing to waste your time, and time is your most precious asset. So if you're just around to be an amateur and play the game and let other people control your destiny and your time, that's fine. You've made your decision. But the point is, if you want to be a professional, you've got to hold people accountable, and you've got to ask for what you want. Then you can make the decision to move on to another prospect and work that prospect and actually get what you want. It's real simple. You just have to respect your time. And for those of you that are not willing to do that, that tells me you don't respect your time. Bottom line. So, I mean, it sounds cut and dry, but that's just how it is.
I think one of the reasons is right now it's just about fear, whether having someone say no to me right now, or whether in 9 months. That's why I've not pushed to say, okay, well, you're not the actual decision maker. Can you make sure that you're in the meeting? Because I'm so afraid of them saying in my mind.
Well, your fear of loss is the most powerful human emotion there is, but it's all about having enough people in your funnel and being fearless. Because when you've got plenty of business, you can afford to lose a couple of, quote, deals. And
I can lose deals, and that's fine, but I think it's just mentally hearing, right.
It's fear.
Right.
And we have to get over that.
All right. That's what I
And that's
mean.
what we're going to do. That's why we're doing this training.
I get it.
He's going to help us. This is awesome.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I have things I have to touch on.
Dave, I got to wrap up. I got to go. Have you got any parting comments before we wrap it?
Everything that I went over with you guys today is after 4 years of training with Grant Cardone. Honestly, I didn't come up with anything. This is taking all of Grant's content for the last 4 years, training on Cardone University, handling mastering objections. I just can, I've consumed enough content to be able to put it into a 30 minutes, be able to answer your questions. The only way that you're going to be able to do what I'm doing is if you train the way that I did. So make sure you're doing your content every day. When you go home at night, make sure you're listening to an audio program. Okay. Dive in a little bit deeper than you already are, and you're going to consume more. But it's consistency and frequency, and I know I need to work on that every single day. So train, and then when you're done training, train some more. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Go for greatness, because nothing else is going to pay you.
Thanks, Dave. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, take care, guys. Absolutely.